Well, hello and good afternoon. Today we are flying from Helsinki to Ivalo. Since this is my first international stream, even though I've done them in Finnish a bunch of time, especially as of late. Let's adjust the camera a little. I thought that the first time I'm doing this in English, we should probably do a Finnish domestic flight, and Finland is a very long country indeed. Um, uh, it's small in populace, but very long, and my laptop has just dropped its Wi-Fi connection, which is something it does a lot. So let's bring it back so I can monitor the chat and all of that. I also have my flight plan in here, and the plane we are flying today is the Airbus A350, very modern, and Finnair, the company we are virtually flying today, was actually the very first company to get the A350 for active use. So that's very interesting. At least I find it interesting. So Finnair doesn't usually use the A350 on this leg, but what they did when the A350 was very new was that they did test flights, and they did test flights in very short haul flights. I don't think they ever did it on this particular flight, but let's agree that this is one of those flights where they have a brand new aircraft, they want to do a shakedown flight, and so they're doing a domestic flight, and for some reason it's very busy, because according to SimBrief we actually are going to have a ridiculous amount of people on board. We're going to have 284 booked seats, which on this leg in actual reality I would find to be rather ridiculous. Not realistic, but hey, it's what SimBrief gives us, so we'll just say that it's very busy. And well, in reality, of course, it would be winter. We actually just got plenty of snowfall, but since X-Plane does only have summer textures and I haven't installed any replacement textures, it's going to be summertime. Also, I haven't modded X-Plane 10 very much. I've actually just transferred from Flight Simulator X to X-Plane, but I have installed the airport sceneries, so we get something in, of course, the plane. And I find the plane to be the most important and the most interesting bit. The plane is, of course, FlightFactor's A350 with plenty of systems and all that, but some shortcomings, and we're going to talk about the shortcomings as well. I don't think many people have streamed this particular aircraft, but the scenery is, as you would expect, it's rather realistic. I have been in that tower there. That tower is usually or it has this open viewing terrace where you can look at the runways that are just next to it, and yeah, it was fun. Although I haven't done it for merely for fun reasons. I was meeting actually my mother to meet her when she was flying in from, I say, Italy? Maybe? Maybe, perhaps. Yes, and I actually just did a clean install of this aircraft, so my views aren't set up, so that's what we're going to do first. So on the overhead, I always map the overhead to pad number 8. Let's zoom out a bit more. Let's go in that direction so that I have all the essential bits and bobs in view. So this is 8. Then I want a dedicated view to the multi-use display. I don't know what this is called. It's OIS, so it's like onboard something. And that's going to be number 4. This is going to be actually, let's zoom out so that I can see both these screens. That's going to be number 6. This bit is going to be number 2. Number 2. Zoom out a bit. No, I can't zoom out. The ceiling is in the way. Very bad design. Why did they put a ceiling in my way? Okay, then this is going to be the view, I guess. This is going to be number 2. And this is the default forward view, but I actually want a forward view that has a bit more information and knobs visible that we are going to use while cruising and all that, and that is going to be number 5. And the runway we are leaving from is going to be 22 left, but actually we don't have to go to an external view to look at it because I have charts. Yes, I'm very professional. Also very professional. Let's turn on the aircraft. And now that we've turned on the aircraft, we can go here and we can inflow, structural limits, barrel units, trans altitude, ILS auto align off, flushing auto pose no, net style, new style, manipulate, on and off. Yes, this is all good. Let's go to ground services, open all the doors. No, let's not open all the doors. Open that door, and we open the cargo doors, and we want external power. We are at gate, although as you can see we're not actually aligned to the gate all that great, but hey, it's simulator. Let's not look at that. We want the fuel truck, we want chocks, we want luggage loaders, we don't need air conditioning, I don't think. We need QLD train, and I think that is that. So lots of graphical things. I'd say that you probably don't want to park the fuel truck right there. Or I don't know, maybe they do. It just seems a bit hazardous. Right next to the right next to the, or under the wing. If this thing caught fire, then we're in loads of trouble. But I guess that in that point, that really isn't the biggest problem we have at that point. So let's, now that we have external power, let's switch that on so we don't burn everything. So let's configure the overhead panel, and Airbus has the dark cockpit design philosophy. So everything is all lights should be off, everything should be on auto, on or on. So that's what we're going to do. Very easy. Crew supply, yes. We need oxygen. That thing we need to switch, but and navigation, quite important. Let's turn the navigation light on because we have power. We actually should have done that before, but we don't have passengers. But let's turn no smoking light on. It's strange that they actually have no smoking lights still in new aircraft, because I don't think there's anywhere in the world where you actually can smoke in an aircraft. Auto, 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 auto. I'm just going to stop saying auto. I think you got the point. I'm just setting everything to automatic. That is the point, even though not all the systems are quite ready. And I think we are supposed to turn this stuff on a bit later. Those things on. It says on air conditioning to automatic and done. That is pretty much the overhead panel configured. So now if I haven't screwed this up completely, we should have charts, and we do have charts. Now we just need to figure out where the heck we are on the aerodrome. X-Plane 11 does this so much better, and I've been using X-Plane 11, but because it's still work in progress and things move around, I've decided to do my main flying in X-Plane 10, because also the add-on planes work much better in this thing. So location. Select global airport, local map. No, that's not it. Actually, I think we can figure it out by just watching outside. So we're right at this end. So what we need to do is, if we're here and we're leaving from 22 left, we shall taxi via Alpha Charlie there, Zulu and Zulu Bravo, and off we go. Excellent. Right. Next thing we do is we shall put the annoying sounds off. For some reason, this thing always turns on. They have something to say to me, but they just don't actually say it. Speaking of saying, this thing has an excellent feature, cabin announcements. We can let's see if we can hear this thing. No, we don't. Somebody said that you should turn the loudspeaker on, but it doesn't really work. I have heard these before, but I think it was a different version of the aircraft. So these days seems that this is mostly for show. If somebody knows what's up with that, please do tell me. So let's see, we have electronic checklists, and just checking that everything's configured. That is all correct. We don't start the APU yet, so I'm just gonna skip that. Our radios are on, and we're not gonna use any ATC, and we're not flying online, so we can skip all this. APU agent, all this is fine, all this is fine. APU start, I'm not doing the APU start yet. Cockpit preparation, yes. Seatbelts on, no smoking on. Well, let's take the people in. So airplane passengers. So what SimBrief is telling us is that we have 284 people, was it? 284 people boarding us. That is a ridiculous amount of people. So let us begin by calculating who goes where. Let's say 5 people go to first class, because why on earth would you spend that much money on a flight like this? Business class people, let's say, let's make this easy to calculate. So let's say 29. So that means that we've filled seats for 34. That means we have 250 people going to economy. 250. Does economy take 250 people? No, it does not. Oh, by the way, since SimBrief is not using, or it doesn't have the presets for A350, I'm using the presets for A330, because I know those will work, because this thing uses less fuel and takes in more people. So this is not completely accurate. So 250 is too much. So let's say 150. So 100 people didn't show up. That's fine. And we are actually about the calculated weight. Total payload weight 21.9 or 29. Actually, that is right on the money. So it won't take any extra cargo. We'll just take the passengers, since this is a shakedown cruise. So implement passengers and cargo loaded, and you can hear them. Listen very closely. Fuel. We need it. Airplanes, in average, use a lot of fuel. So we have trip fuel of 7,426 kilograms of destination fuel, which fills us to 3% capacity. So yes, this plane is designed for longer haul flights, clearly. Am I offline? Am I really offline? No, I shouldn't be offline. It's my computer again. Connect. Alternative fuel is 2157. Contingency fuel is 1338. APU time, taxi time, all that brings us to we need 3,000 more. So let's just make this 10,000, because this doesn't have a place for all the different types of fuel that SimBrief is offering us. So let's just make it 10,426. Excellent. We have the correct amount of fuel. Whoops. Implement. 6% capacity. Cabin, let's turn on the lights. Doors can be all automatic, but they can be because it doesn't do anything. Performance calculator, we don't need that. And yeah, I think we're about, well, we can actually close all the doors and tell everybody to go except ground power unit. So let's leave it also at the gate. Excellent. That means eggs are good. So now let's start configuring the FMS, which I think is the next step. Let's turn on the seatbelt lights. So we can airflow selector normal. Why haven't I done that? Airflow is auto normal. Good. Yes. APU things don't check because I haven't turned it on yet, which was indeed the plan. And this get on. Yes. Services 1 and 2 push buttons. What is that? No, it's this thing here. Let's turn all of it on. Parking brake is on, so excellent. Reset this next. And yes, next step is to configure the flight management system, which is this thing. And I actually kind of like this thing, although this is where the biggest letdowns of this add-on thing is, because it doesn't have a proper FMS or FMC, flight management computer. And the reason for that is that it is based on the X-Plane 10 default FMS, which is not very good. I'm hoping that when they update this to X-Plane 11, which has so much better FMS, that this thing will get more feature rich as well. But the biggest thing is that it doesn't support SIDS, it doesn't support stars, and it doesn't support airways, which means that it is going to take us a bit of time to punch this in, but fortunately it supports the keyboard, which is going to speed this up tremendously. So our flight number is Alpha Yankee 463. We are going from EFHK Echo Foxtrot Hotel Kilo to Echo Foxtrot India. What is V? This is very embarrassing that I can't remember. Our cruise light is going to be 380. Cruise temperature will be I'll fill that in later. And our cost index will be 10. We are going fast. And yeah. IRS should be aligned by now. Yes, align IRS. We have navigation. Navigation is very good for flying. I wholeheartedly recommend navigation for all your flying. So departure will be runway 22 left, and it says load assist, but it doesn't actually support it, unfortunately. But at least we can punch in the runway, return, and then we are gonna add. Unfortunately, we can't put in airways, but we are actually going. We don't use SID this time, so actually it wouldn't help because we are going direct to several. Blur. Then we are going. Well, this is where it would be excellent to have airway support, because then we are gonna have a lot of navigation points on the airway, but we just have to going to do it this way. So Dipum Usopo oops, I failed to click this. I can't help but notice that you haven't added Usopo. No, it's Usupo. Then we're going, oops. Then we are going to, no, not next from FLV. Usupo, we are going to rum up. I know this isn't the most exciting part of the broadcast, but it's very important to insert our route. Otherwise we won't know where we are going. And I have flown where my navigation system has failed completely, and it is very much not fun. Oskek. Next waypoint is Adido. Thing is that we were like 2/3 of the way on this airway, so if it had airway support, it would be, I would only have to punch in a few things. After Adido is Mimaru. Yes, apply that. Next waypoint is L pop. It's pop from Elbonia, I guess. L pop, because there's J pop and there's K pop, so L pop. New. L pop. Next from L pop is Suvib. And actually, after Suvib, we are on the approach. No, fuck off, discontinuity. Next waypoint, Ribble. And this is where we'll have approach charts, and I'll be punching in speed and altitude restrictions, but I'm not doing that yet. We have quite a long cruise to punch all that in, so there is no hurry. We don't have an extremely long cruise. This should be about an hour and a half from gate to gate. So I put in reblue, so Aslop. Okay. Aslop and Nepex. Nepex. Whoops. Nepex. And Alrom. Alrom and Rotko. Rotko. But Rotko is Finnish and it means wait, what's the direct translation? I'll figure it out. I'll just concentrate on punching in the amoeba, punching in the, and fortunately these times are not correct. We are not gonna have a 4-hour flight. I'm not gonna do that. Elpet. Elpet, not Alpet. Elpet. Nevut. Nevut. And then we are do that, and we are there. So arrival will be runway 22 ILS. Approach none, via none, Lodestar won't work. So that's our flight plan, and it should be punched in as is. We can check it by going to nav and just zooming the heck out. Yes, we are there. We have a horizontal profile. No, vertical profile. I know what I'm doing. I also know what I'm saying. I'm very efficient at saying things, as you will come to note. So now let's leave that there. So this is all done. Yes, 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 yes. So ND mode range as required. PFD on. Actually, we should listen to the ATIS to see our barometric pressure. So let's check the charts for ATIS, which is 114.2. 11. I am really bad at mouse things. The zoom level is too much. 114.00. And nothing. 114.2. Yes. It's punched in. Is this thing on? Hello? It's probably on because... Yes, it's on. How very strange. Well, let's just look at the map. Altimeter 29907. Cheat. Whoops. Wait. No. Oh, come on. Just switch the mode already. What? How do you switch the mode on this thing? Come on, cooperate. Crying out loud. Oh. The click point is there, That's logical. Even that's better than what we had. Okay, 9er points. 2 9er point. Whoops. 2 9er.7 punched in, and we are direct to our first waypoint, and I don't think we have any altitude restrictions, so we're just gonna punch in our cruising altitude at 38,000 feet. Like so. These are all dashes. That is the correct setting. So are we done? 15 over blah 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 blah. Done. Before pushback clearance, blah 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 blah. This is all good. So we are ready to push back and go. So let us get rid of all the extra people and equipment. So no, actually I'm gonna start the APU first. Master switch start. And let's turn on a couple more. Go to auto, logo can go to auto as well. Yeah, I think that's probably not the correct procedure, but you know. APU generator needs to be on, so we can turn the external power off. So let's unload these things, and we should be ready to fuck off. That's a technical term, by the way. Why on earth does my laptop constantly drop the connection? It's very annoying. So, now we are going that way, so we'll push back so that we're heading that way. Logics. And pushback is also here, and this has functioned, let us say, I'm not very confident in the functions of the pushback. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't work at all. So we shall see. So we shall turn our parking brake off, and we actually control the, whoa, look at me looking through the seat. I am the pilot with the superpowers. So yes, let us push back and let us get an external view, because you don't usually control the pushback from within the cockpit. They have people for that, so let's see. It works! Good heavens! It's almost like we're doing this for reals. So this is the time to actually start engine number 1. Do we have to do anything about that in the overhead? No, I think that's Boeing. Engine start. Normal, ground. Is it ground? No, that's crank. Again, ground is a Boeing thing. I don't know if we actually have an engine start or not. I'll just concentrate on one thing at a time. Usually it's not a single person doing the pushback and the engine start procedure at the same time. It would be very hard to go from the cockpit to the pushback truck. It has a graphical bug, I see. It doesn't actually turn when I turn it. Well, it is a little, but not as it should. Okay, I think that is where we shall leave it. That is a good position for us. Parking brake back on, and you may call. Okay, so our engine didn't start. At least I don't think it did. Which means, let's look at the engine display. We don't have the APU bleed on. Or do we? I'm not sure. Where's the engines? That's the engine button. Okay, so engines. Yeah, we don't have anything going there. So APU bleed on. And I'm just gonna switch that off and start again with engine number 2, just in case that we didn't do anything really bad for engine number 1. And nothing's happening. Fantastic. Okay. APU bleed is on. Packs are on auto. So from what I remember, we should have, but fortunately we have so ECAM mode check, engine start selector start. Oh, right. Let's turn that off. ECAM auto mode, engine start selector start, engine master 1 on. There it goes. Very professional, yet again. Well, let's look at our performance numbers. We are doing flex 45. We're going to do flaps 2. So that looks good. Our optimal flight level would be ridiculously high, but that's not what our flight plan says, so we shall not do it. Our ground proximity warning system is off for some reason. We can armor ground spoilers while we're here. No. Oh, we can probably should lock our doors because we don't want the riffraff to show up. Engine number 1 is stable. Going engine number 2. By the way, what is our trim? Trim for, it says 39%, so that's the wrong direction. Like so. No, thrust for 39%. Where is it actually? Performance, fuel load. Yeah, that's all good. And in it, fly takeoff performance. I don't know. Okay. We'll do it this way. Engine controls, engine start selector normal. APU bleed, well, I can actually turn off the APU. So, APU master switch off, APU bleed off, APU generator off. We should be under our own power, yes. Let us configure the flaps for the takeoff. Anti-ice. We're in the auto as well. Auto mode on. Yep. Flap lever, yes. Pitch trim. It looks ridiculous, but okay. Where's our center of gravity? Let's try it. And we are done with those. This thing to auto. Alright. They want us to turn these on. Let's turn these on. Whoops. Or something. Passenger data should be off. I'm not gonna bother with that. If people want to watch stuff on their iPads or something, be my guest. Time to taxi. And whoops, this thing taxis fast. Wow, these rain textures. I would be so proud if I wasn't so disappointed. I probably should replace these, because this is not a good effect. But let us not be worried about, let's just taxi to where we're going. And it's not the prettiest taxi ever, but the wing flex is quite extreme. But I've seen a documentary on the A350, and it's actually designed to be that way. So let us. Well, let us actually concentrate on the taxi. And then we'll do the final config. Whoops. We are going rather fast. We are going extremely fast. So yes. As I was saying, let us concentrate on one thing at a time. Very poor visibility over there. So this is runway 33. What? What do you mean 33? Wasn't this supposed to be 22 left? Chart. Have you lied to me? Oh, we weren't there. We were actually there. Crap. But hey, we're direct from the aerodrome to our first navigational point. We don't have air traffic control, so let's just say that we were planning on 33 the whole time. Let us even punch that in. Nothing out of the ordinary happened. Not a thing. Okay, so are we moving? We are moving. Whoops! Where the heck are we now? We seem to be at the general aviation hangar. Whoops! Let us make a quick exit. We can make a quick exit. Let's do a quick engine reverser backing off. Now remember, folks, parking brakes are there for a reason. That actually could be the title of the stream. Parking brakes are there for a reason. This ground rain textures are so bad. So very bad. Okay, so let's continue with our ridiculous unrealism and let's just park it here. Not legit at all. Reversers off. The passengers are mocking me. But to be fair, I kind of do deserve to be mocked in this instance. So yes. Takeoff configure. Not configured. So what do we have? Config speed. Alright, we don't have we are, where's the where's the rejected takeoff? Is there? Yes, that's the rejected takeoff. These are the kind of things that you'd think I'd actually figure out before flying. But hey, where's the fun in that? So now we should be configured. Let's check one more time. Takeoff config, no. Speed brake not retracted. It's not? I shouldn't it be armed? I thought the procedure was it to be armed. Okay, now we're configured. The ground proximity warning system is still off. And I have no clue as to why. But hey, it's a flat contour, let's just go. Let's figure it out on the fly. Safe! I am telling us that we are ready, so we are ready. We are kind of lined up. Let's configure the lights. Let's be professional because we have been so very professional so far. I actually forgot to turn on the taxi lights. Professional. That's what I was saying. Okay. Ready. taking this Flex 45 as per plan. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. I'm not very good at manual flying. And let's take this to... Where's the... Oh. I think I forgot to... let's go to this view so I can see where we're actually going. We are climbing like a rocket. Flaps up, whoops. So, never climb. There we go. Stabilized. We're pretty much on the flight path. We have excellent wind conditions. And this is where I turn on the autopilot. We are nav. Climb. Whoa. Well, this is a very light aircraft. Or very light configuration for heavy aircraft, I should say. Where's the transition altitude? I can't find it in this chart, so let's just say that we passed it because it's flashing that thing. So we are going to standard barometric pressure. And we are flying. We're not actually flying. Landing lights off. And away we go. It took an hour to go from start of the stream to takeoff. That's actually pretty bad. I usually try to make my pre-flight a bit shorter than that. But at least the views... Well, there are no views. Apparently. What? Let's put this to show the flight plan. So yeah, we should be there in 1.5 hours. We shouldn't have any speed restrictions at this point, but it actually gives us a speed restriction for some reason. That's strange. It'll probably clear after 18,000 or something. If it doesn't, we'll just configure it ourselves. Those were the wrong. Let's see, performance climb 0.484 Mach 290 is the economy speed. That's quite a lot of speed, but yeah, we're on cost index 10. The higher the cost index, the more this thing will save fuel and go slower. So we'll actually punch in to the next waypoint, which is Tevro. Let's just punch that in as the limitation, or rather, let's tell it that there is no limitation. Constraints, speed, climb speed limit, below flight level 100, we are above, very much above. So let us just say 290 is the climb constraint. Yep. So we should speed up to 290 at that point. And then we should be on managed mode, so we shouldn't have to worry about it. And that mode is actually incorrect. Our wing anti-ice is on. There's an itch in my armpit, which is not the sexiest thing ever, but what can you do? GCAS is full slab mode off, terror system off. Let's see, what did I? But these are on. This is 1 or 2. Nope. No, it says system degraded. I've never gotten those errors before, so that's why I'm confused. Dunno. Just don't know. Also, don't care. So, convenient. Because it's not realistic that we're flying without our ground proximity warning system on, but it really doesn't affect our flight in the simulator. Let's see what does our fuse look like? Finnair, flying through a thick cloud layer. Let's take a couple of screenshots for the YouTube video art, but we'll probably get better views later on. Okay, so we are climbing fast. And I don't know, maybe we should actually, whoops. Maybe we should make our, let's see, performance cruise. Why is our speed so low? I want these figures that you have. .84. I didn't actually pre-select anything, so I don't know why it's doing that. So anyway, I was looking at our optimal flight level would be 430, and we are climbing like bats out of hell. So maybe we should actually select that as our. Let's do that. We are our own flight control, so clear to flight level 430. Cool. We should save a lot of fuel and actually get more speed out of it as well. by doing that, so. But we're still... No, we're speeding up just fine. Excellent. What else? Let's see if checklists have anything else. Well, our throttle quadrant is kind of in the way. Very rude. So let's move the view. This is why I've moved from Flight Simulator to Microsoft Flight Simulator to X-Plane, because the camera controls are so fantastic. I didn't mean to click that. We are on climb. Yeah, I don't care about those. And then cruise. Yeah. Okay. Performance, and we're still on climb, and then we'll at some point reach 430. Our climb rate should slow down as we go higher and higher and higher, but we'll see. This plane is like a rocket. It's such a light load. We don't have any extra cargo, and we were fueled to 6% capacity. Even though we have plenty of people on board. Actually, I actually took 100 people off the plane. So, do we have better views yet? No, we don't have. We had just cloud cover. Actually, this makes me slightly happier, because I was planning on installing photo scenery for Finland, pretty much for the benefit of this particular stream. But the result of that was that I started generating it, and it takes so long to generate, and also it takes a massive amount of hard drive space. Huge amount of hard drive space. Way too much for it to be convenient. I'm moving my default view to here because this is a more convenient view. But yeah, so much hard drive space. So I would have needed to wait. Master caution, cabin pressure, difficulty pressurizing. Oh, so yeah, pressure, airflow high is pretty much what it was telling me, right? Well, we are climbing our cabin altitude, so it should be fine. But yeah, we're climbing so fast that yeah. Cabin altitude mode manual, cabin altitude target as required. Wait, I didn't mean to put it on manual. It's on auto. I just made the airflow to go on high. Or doesn't want me to go to manual. I don't want to go to manual. It's hard. We'll be fine. We're no wait. Our cabin altitude is rising. We don't want it to rise too high because that means we won't have enough oxygen. Right. So so let us go to our cabin pressurization mode, manual, and target is down. Cabin altitude mode, manual, target, whoops, target is decrease. No, it goes to increase when I do that. Decrease. Let's see. Ah! There we go. Turns out it wasn't so hard. But now we want to go to manual or automatic again because I've never had pressurization problems. That's a hard word to say. Maybe this is why we should have flown at flight level 380. Well, it looks like we've survived. And the warning's off, so I have saved everyone's lives with my rapid action. That's my story, and that's where I'm sticking with it. No, not sticking with it. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Everybody loves wing views. We're not getting any. Actually, if we open the door, we might be able to move about in the cockpit. Unlocked and open. Let us go to the cabin. Whoa! Seems that our systems don't like it very much. But I think we're... Actually, let's stick around and... Yeah. I was worried that the cabin pressurization thing, so let us go down to 380 after all. Because this is why we trust... This is why we trust the flight plan. So let's deal with this situation and let's lock the door to seize that. What? Cockpit door fault? Well, that's strange. The thing that's failing is the cockpit door. Maybe it's because of the pressurization thing. Could very well be. So, cockpit door fault. Closed door, reset the switch. Oh right, I opened the door, so that's why I can't lock it. Logics. Isn't this an enjoyable stream? There's a person here. Flying planes. Not knowing, apparently not knowing anything about anything. So let us bring us down to below 7,000 feet, because I think 7,000 feet is about normal for these kinds of airplanes. Let's put them back in auto. And it starts rising again. Let us descend slightly faster. Because I don't trust this thing. Have I configured something incorrectly? Packs not off, engine beats off, cockpit air extract on, windshield defog, ram air. I think it's all configured just fine. But what's this? Closed. That should have been auto. Well, no wonder! I didn't put that switch in the wrong position. Nope. So now we can go back to our planned cruise level. This is the way to fly airplanes, believe me. I still maintain the notion that I'm totally professional. And the fact that I didn't notice an obvious switch misplacement is not my fault. Nope. Let's go hang out in the cabin where people are not accusing me of trying to, well, not trying to, but almost killing everybody on board. They don't know anything about it, so let us go. I seem to have encountered an invisible barrier. The door is open. Why can't I walk through it? What is that? Cabin pressure difference pressure. What? I thought I fixed this. We're at 7.5 feet. Our delta P is fine. What's wrong with it? Airflow high. Does that help? Oh man. I don't know where I'm aiming with this. Like 7,000? Isn't that kind of normal? But now we're getting way too much. Way too much pressure difference. Whoops, we're getting way too much pressure difference, so let's turn that back where it was. Yes, let us try with the quest of exiting the cockpit. It's rendered. I can see it. So why can't I leave? It isn't very much like a it's saying like I'm in the closet, but I'm not in the closet. I'm out. So I should be able to go through all the doors. Are we getting pressure warnings again? No, we're not. Okay, fine. I can't stand that noise. So close the door and lock it. Fine. You get your way. So, what we can do now is we're still ways off from having to come down, but we can now punch in the approach figures. We can most easily do it like this. We'll open the chart. What now? Oh, okay, let's go down to 38,000 feet. Fine. 38,000 select. Let's program in that in again. 380. Show. Can I rotate these? No, I cannot. Can I zoom these? I hope I can, because I can't actually make any sense. So, we are going, or approaching via SOTIT 1B. Not in database, it says. I haven't done anything yet. Our active database is in date, which is neat. But flight plan, here it is. So once we get to SOTIT, we need to be at flight level 100. So let's punch that in. SOTIT. SOTIT. There is no SOTIT. Why is there no SOTIT when I specifically programmed that in? Let us see our flight plan. Have I missed a step? Which is perfectly possible when you do it by hand. You can miss steps. Now don't tell me we have yet another pressurization problem. I actually have forgotten a step. Not a surprise. Not very dangerous either, because we can add it at this point. So what's good? Our pressurization problem seem to be solved. Excellent. So yeah, I have skipped over a step in the flight plan, so we shall add that in. It was after Amoeba. Should be SOTIT. SOTIT. And apply. And the throttle quadrant is in a very inconvenient spot. Okay, and delete discontinuity. Excellent. So, in SOTIT, you should be at... it's good that it is compatible with keyboard focus, but it's very inconvenient that it's on constant focus. So I hear that engines are doing something, and that something is us settling to our flight level, and our pressurization seems to be good, but for some reason we're still going very slow. Performance. Managed hold speed. But I wanted economic speed. Never climb. Isn't my level... aren't I on climb? I should be on climb. This is manual thrust, we don't want that. Yeah. Well, fortunately we're getting excellent winds, so we are actually making very good time. But we most certainly could go faster. Let's see if there's something we can do about that. Managed speed is hold speed. Okay, but I wanted economy speed, which means 0.84. No, don't activate approach. hold speed. Okay, I want to change the hold speed. I do that where? In it. Frequent departure, auxiliary, navigate, fuel load, takeoff performance. I don't know if I can. Oh, we're making good time. So. Right. Oh, I didn't mean turn it off. Okay, so now we have shot it. So we're gonna clear that. And so it will be flight level 100. Flight level 100. Oh, I forgot to put its dash flight level. Clear, please. No, not that. Flight level 100 is in Sotit. Now, did that give us top of descent for us? It did not, which is a shame, because it's very convenient. Elpet doesn't have anything mentioned, but Nevut is dash 3500, which is not a lot. And Kutis is 3500. Nevut is actually 220 knots, or 240 knots. Dash 3500. Excellent. And Elpet, we... What? I'm scrolling the wrong way. Nevut. And wait, why don't we have Lonro? Alright, because this assumes that we have those. So no worries. We shall insert Lonro. If I'm not completely mistaken. No, we don't. I'm used to different kinds of approach charts, so that's why I'm a bit confused. Okay, so next page is, wait, I forgot to convert the ILS approach chart. Silly me. Oh well, it's here on the laptop. That just means that unfortunately you won't be able to see it, but I will. And in the grand scheme of things, because I am actually the one flying the plane, I guess it's better that I'm the one doing it, or seeing them. Because if all of you saw it, but I didn't, it wouldn't really help me fly the plane. But then again, it might be that Nevut is already our ILS capture point, and it doesn't really matter. But we'll see. EFIV, ILS, or location Y or location Z. That is the question for the ages. Let us see. We are ILS 22 location Y. Let's see if location Z has more information, and it does. What is it? For some reason the cabin keeps calling me, but they never say anything, so I just turn them off so we can take a better view. And So, Nevut is our final point before ILS capture. But actually, Kutis is this is very, yeah, Kutis, Arvel. Okay, yep, okay. So we'll put in Kutis, KU, or Kilo, Uniform, Tango, India, Sierra. There or there. We put it the other way around. So again, Kutis, and Kutis is again 3,500, and I think that's where we get our ILS capture. And then we have Arvel. Arvel here, and Arvel is 2,400. I don't think we have a speed restriction, but I'd say slow. So dash 2,400, and then it's ILS capture and landing. Yes, so clear the discontinuity show, and that means that we should be punched in. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be exploring on this fascinating aircraft is, does this predict top of descent now that we've given it a profile? We've given it a profile, I should say. So flight plan. Let me move the view again because the throttles are in the way. So let's scroll. That's the wrong way to scroll. What could this Arvel? No, it does not. So at least it doesn't do it in the flight plan. So what about performance? Descent. No, it does not. So we're going to have to figure it out ourselves. So let's look at our flight plan. We want to be sorted at flight level 100. Fine. And it's a 56 nautical mile step from Amuba to Sotet. So if you're at 380 and you have 56 miles, it doesn't tell us anything. This tells it it's 8 minutes, and we have to drop 280,000, no, 28,000 feet. So maybe we want to do a drop call. That gives us 10 minutes for 28 divided by 10 is something that I'm going to calculate with the computer, because I can do it in my head, but for some reason I don't want to mess this up. It's 28,000. No, I'm fucking it up over here as well. So it's 28,000 divided by 10 minutes, which gives us 2,800 feet per minute, which is a bit fast. So what if we do it all? It's easier to figure it out from the navigational points, because then we have something very specific to aim for. So Allrom is, I just checked that there's no warnings there. Allrom to Amub to Sotet would be 16 minutes, so 28,000. No, not 58,000. This is not a spy plane. 28,000 divided by 15 minutes gives us 1,800. So if we start at Rothko and we make it our top of descent, and then descend 1,900 feet per minute, we are golden. Excellent. So 16 minutes to top of descent. That means that it's excellent time for me to take a small break at the little person's room, even though I'm pretty large, so I don't know why they always call it the little girls or little boys, or in my case, the little person's room. But they do, so that's why I called it. And I shall be right back. Let me know if the plane explodes or something. It's just polite, you know, letting the pilot know. here we are, back in the saddle again. I also got myself some light eatables, because my stomach started to feel that it's not gonna end well if I don't get some. So Rotko is coming up in, well, not that soon. Rotko is in, well, where's the clock? Oh, it's here. 45 and Rotko is 56, so slightly more than 10 minutes. This is where the popular streamers chat with the audience, but I'm not that popular. But no worries, I had planned for that. And there's also stuff that we can do to prepare for the upcoming landing, like let's make a cab announcement. I think that's the most important thing. Onboard entertainment. Let's have some. Play. In use, but I can't hear anything. I've heard them before, but I'm not the only one reporting that I can't hear them. That should be the volume slider. Well, I could have given you a more exciting view while I was away. Overall, this is a very nice plane to fly. Very easy, and it seems to it's easy to handle, but I have noticed that on final landing it tends to be really floaty. It's really hard to go from the very final steps of the approach to actually getting it down. It doesn't want to lay the wheels on the ground. So that's something to keep in mind when landing. This does have auto land, but I don't know if Ivalo has auto land. And then it doesn't really matter because I'm not planning on using it anyway. We have had extremely favorable winds through this whole trip, which is very nice indeed. I forgot to turn the chronometer on, which I always do, so I don't know what this flit Yes, it's probably the simulation time, because I had the simulator on way before we started. This stream hasn't gone on for that long. About 2 hours. So, after Olrom, it's Rotko. So let's punch in. It was flight level 110. We were aiming for at that point. We can punch that in, but the plane is not descending yet. That's important. Also, we can punch in this as well. It was 1900 feet per minute, and again, it's not descending yet, and that's very important. I'm just setting them in advance, and then when I push that button, then it starts doing its thing. So excellent. What else? Oh, we can tune our ILS, which we can't see here because, once again, I forgot to convert the charge for it. So we can let's look at the star. So I'll check on my laptop. Our ILS frequency is 109.9. So nav ILS frequency is 109.9er 0, and course is, what's our course? Usually it says in here 215. So that's punched in. Yeah. We should be golden. Now I see that we want, as we're coming from Kutis, we actually want to be at 2,400 feet for optimal ILS capture. Enter destination data. What? You have destination data. It's Echo Foxtrot India V. I usually remember these, but this is my first one of these in English, so forgive me for so we want to actually to be, well, we'll just be below those, so I don't have to punch them in to the FMC, because we're doing the descent semi-manually in any case. So we are 18 nautical miles from our begin descent. For some reason it took that, reset that, but no matter. Yeah, it does have destination. I don't know what it's all about. Reset again. So I'm just waiting for us to reach Rotko. Yeah, there's like a 100. But yeah, I calculated it correctly. Oh, come on, why do you reset it? It's very annoying. Two nautical miles. And let's just punch it in. And we have started our descent. But actually I fucked the whole thing up because we have very little time to go from Sodet to Nevut, which is only 3,500 feet. So I should have calculated in it for that. Not to panic, I will do it now. So what we actually need to lose is... It was 28 in 15 minutes. So it's 7... No, 8,000 more. And oh, I'm just gonna... What? There was a problem loading the scenery package. Okay, understood. Oh, I got scared that it crashed. Well, at least we're very much on our profile. Well, actually we're not, so let's punch in slightly more. So... No, wait, no, that was fine. Let's say 2200 for now, and then we'll just monitor. Put this down to 3,500 for Nevut. And Nevut was the initial, whoops, initial, no, Sotit was the initial, so Nevut is actually very close. And we want a 24 for, okay, so let's do 2,000. I'll just follow this thing here. I don't have to calculate it all, I can see it visually. That's why I like modern planes. You don't have to know how to fly it just tells you. Let's listen to Ivalo ATIS. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, and it is. 1232. VHF. 123.200. And once again, I can't help but notice that it does not work. That's mute. Mute is not going to help us, so I don't actually know what our barometric pressure should be, which is a bit of a problem. So we are actually in a pretty good descent profile, because we will be, well, actually at this rate we'll be hitting 2000 before LPET, which we don't need, so we'll just ease this off very slightly. Why doesn't the radios work? Hey, listen to the radio. I want you to listen to the radio. Let's try on VHS too. VHS? No, that's not the same thing. Nope. No robot woman. How very unfortunate. Now I'll be at 2000 at Nevut, which is excellent. Also, we'll get rid of some speed. What's our landing speed? Approach. V approach is 226 with flaps 3. Very well. So we'll start dialing down the speed. Let's go to 200. We'll have to give it some speed brake, but there we go. Otherwise this thing will never slow down. And not slowing down before landing is extremely hazardous to one's health. We don't want that. Let's take some screenshots just in case. Why is our GPS primary lost? Is there something wrong with our navigation system? I don't know why there would be, and I assume that there would be more alarms if we were actually flying in the dark, so I'm not that worried. Well, probably because I punched in the ILS and it is actually getting something from it. So we are on schedule with the descent. it's not gonna be very long to landing, so... But we've been at it for over 2 hours by now, so... So I think that is just fine. Oh. When I streamed this plane for the first time, it was a Finnish stream. Someone asked, when they saw these big screens everywhere, they say, "Why are you flying a microwave?" Which I thought was slightly amusing. So we're gonna make a bit of a turn on the approach to line with the runway. That is very kosher. I'll just see where our speed is. Our speed is steady, so I'll keep the speed brake at half notch until we reach our intercept height, at which point we will lose speed fast. Actually, I'm going to configure it to 126 because that is our approach speed, and we're not going to lose the speed until very close to landing. Will be slightly above flight level 100, that's 10,000 feet at Sotit, but that is okay because we are on profile. I expect we'll be landing in the next 10 minutes or so at the latest. Boring views. Sorry, Finland, you're a very boring country, and I should know. I live here. So yeah, we'll see how the landing goes. My previous landing with this plane was rather exciting indeed. A bit more excitement than perhaps I would like in a well-handled landing. I almost went off the runway because we touched down way later than we should have. Okay, so turning to Elpet. So it's a bit unfortunate that we don't have the correct barometric pressure because for some reason this radio doesn't work. But in any case, since we're doing an ILS, we'll have pretty much until the very last moments of the flight, we'll have a we will have a what? What was I saying? I don't know. I was looking at the ground profile and decided to ease our descent a bit just so we'll miss those hills. But yeah, we'll have a mostly automatic landing. I'll just take control for the final phase of the landing because I'm not sure if I don't think Ivalo has category 3 ILS, so we couldn't do a fully automatic landing in any case. But these are very much IFR conditions. Very low visibility indeed. That was another thing that I would have liked to have heard in the ATIS, the automated information system. What? You never say anything, you just bother me with the ding. Let's give it a bit more speed brake so we don't have so much. More, not less. More speed brake so we don't have so much speed to lose in the very final moments. Because we also have some very tight turns, which means that we probably don't want to make it too hard on the computer to keep everything coordinated. And we probably don't want to be doing too many things during those turns. So when we land on runway 22, we want to turn left. But it could be that since I presume we're coming pretty fast, it might be that we have to turn at the end of the runway and then taxi back, but we'll see. Nobody's written anything in the chat the whole stream. Or then I have the wrong view. Have I ever thought about that? We'll see. Okay, so just monitoring the descent. We shall turn our landing lights on now since we are quite low indeed. No, there's nobody in the chat. Or nobody's writing in the chat. But that's okay. I forgive. Okay. We can lower our descent speed even more. But I think we're clear of those hills pretty well. So let's put the speed brake up, no, down one more notch, and monitor everything so that we'll... Now it's asking us to give us the barometric reading, but we don't have it. So we can give it. Logics, I should say, not logics. Logics doesn't mean anything, but logics does mean something. Does that make any sense? I don't know. No, it's not my first language, it's just because of imperialism that I know it so well. So thank you, imperialism. No, imperialism wasn't good, and isn't good. just... Okay. We are very close to landing indeed. Flaps 1. We getting a signal from the ILS, not ILS. ILS doesn't mean anything. I'm very good at saying things that don't mean anything. We are above the glide slope, which is excellent, because then we get a clean capture. Okay, speed brake up and armed. No, armed. We are approaching the final turns. See, I'm flying the plane. It's very exciting. Let's check the view. Actually, this is a very finished view. This is the one that I'll use for YouTube. So now we're at the correct altitude. Excellent. We are gonna start losing speed fast. So I have to be careful with the flap deployment. Flaps 2, flaps 3, and flaps full. We're taking the turn now. And after we're done with the turn, I'll lower the landing gear. I once landed forgetting to lower the landing gear. That is embarrassing. Landing gear down. And I don't know if we should go to approach already. I'll get us to approach mode. Dual notables. We are category 3. So we'll just see what the conditions are like and if we're going to do full auto brake notch 3. Let's say this is a pretty short runway. You might have to use the brake fans afterwards, but they're virtual. It's virtual equipment, so I'm not too worried if it doesn't work that well afterwards. I could turn us at this point and vector us in essentially, but I don't think we need to. This thing should be aligning itself very aggressively in just a few moments. All configured to land to the airport that is somewhere Okay, let's monitor the turn. Let's not play with the cameras. Okay. Yeah, we have ILS capture. Speed is steady. Our lights are configured. Our flaps are set. Our auto brake is set, and our ground spoilers are armed, so we are good for landing. Except for this thing here. But we don't speak of such things. So, I'd love to say that I have the runway in sight, but I really do not have it. I have no clue where the airport is. This is fairly realistic Finnish terrain. However, we do not want to end up in generic Finnish looking terrain. We want to come down on the actual airport. Highly, highly recommended. I also set the auto brakes pretty high because unfortunately I am fairly likely to overshoot the landing. So we are on the right path, but I can't see the airport. And we are very close, and we are pretty soon we're getting a glide slope capture. I really hope that the load error earlier didn't actually mean that there is no airport here. Glide slope capture. We have a glide slope capture, but wait, now I can see the airport. Phew, I was actually getting really worried because it would be highly unfortunate to make an approach to an airport that doesn't actually exist anywhere. The winds are calm. Good. That means that it'll be slightly easier to get this thing on the ground. Switch to this view. And at some point we will turn off the autopilot, and then I'll have control. I am going to ignore your calls. I am slightly busy at the moment, as you might see. I am going to turn the autopilot off. Doing a manual final approach. aligned pretty well, so we don't want to get too low because there's this unfortunate terrain around the airport. Somebody should really look into this. Land, it says. I will. Thank you. I'm slightly too high, but I want to be slightly too high at this point because I'd rather be slightly too high than slightly too low. Okay. And rollout reversers. Actually, that was a beautiful landing, at least I think so. Now they're clapping unironically, which is much more preferable. So that's it. We shall roll out and turn off the runway. I'm going to switch to an external view because I think that X means don't land here, you idiot. I think the proper procedure, at least looking at the markings, is that I probably should have taxied to the end of the runway and then turned. But fuck that noise. Ain't nobody got time for that. There's a Thomas Cook airplane which is part of the scenery, but I don't think that company exists anymore. I'm not entirely sure, but I seem to remember that it doesn't exist anymore. So there it is. We have landed. Landing lights off, taxi lights on, runway turn off on. And actually we can turn on the APU while we're at it. That felt like an excellent landing, but unfortunately X-Plane 11 has excellent replay features, but X-Plane 10 doesn't have them, or at least I haven't found them, so we can't watch it from an external view external view again. So what we're gonna do is assume that it was just the most perfect landing anyone has ever seen. And if somebody disagrees, they're gonna have to deal with somebody. I don't know who, but that somebody is not gonna be pleased. Let's park to this gate here. Turn, you fucker. There's smoke coming off the front wheel, or then it's just steam. We'll have to check the brake temperatures in case we're about to be set on fire, which would be a rather unclimactic end to the stream. Let's not do that. Parked. Parking brake. Front spoilers disarmed. Wheels. Are they really hot? No, they don't seem to be, because it doesn't give me any information on the wheels, which is odd. No, here they are, and they're all in the green. So yes, it was as perfect a landing as I'm going to assume without any more information. So let's turn off the engines. No, let's turn on the APU generator first. We don't need the APU bleed because we are on the ground. Engines off. And we are going to get stairs, chocks, passenger bus, luggage loader, and that's it. We are done with the flight. essentially. I'm still going to power down the airplane. So actually there's not much to it. Off. That light will stay on. You can now smoke in the plane. No, don't smoke on the plane. I'm going to turn off. And let's turn those off. And yeah. We can turn off the power. And that is it. We are done. Now we can turn the navigation lights off as well. That is it. We are at Ivalo airport in the very northernmost part of Finland, which is not this green this time of year. It's gonna be cold as all hell. But we are done with the flight, and we are done with the stream. Thank you very much for watching. There were some of you pretty much the whole way through, so thank you. And we'll be back at some point, perhaps next week. We'll see. I'm going to keep doing English language streams about once a week, even after this. So goodbye.